Are you awake yet?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. This is Reason With Me, and I'm your host, Nathan Richards. I named the title of this episode, Introverts and Alcohol, the ESFP drug. Yes, I typed the drugs. I typed the drugs based off of how they made me feel as an introvert. And yes, I have a lot of experience with the drugs I typed. I'm kind of like your crackhead uncle that OD'd at last year's Christmas party. Only his body was too weak, and he's not this prime physical specimen that you see in front of you today. Why did I type alcohol as the ESFP drug? It's very simple. First of all, alcohol has been christened a social lubricant ever since the times of ancient Greece. Meaning it's a drug that makes people more social, hence extroverted. Why did I type it as a sensing drug? Because when we drink alcohol, it inhibits our intuition. And we tend to only be interested in things that appeal to our five senses. Or at least things that are easy for our senses to understand. Sports, music, dancing, sex, simple games like pool and shuffleboard. You know, stuff that doesn't require a lot of cognitive processing. Feeling. That should really be self-evident. My girl left me for my brother, dog. I'm gonna kill that mother. Moving on. Perceiving. Drinking is a way for people to release their inhibitions and transcend the boundaries of everyday life. It loosens lips. It feels acceptable to do things that you wouldn't normally do if you were sober. And how many times did you tell yourself you were going to leave the bar at 10 only to stay till 2 and go home with some guy that you just met during last call? Perceiving. Now, why does alcohol appeal to introverts? Because when the alcohol enhances our ability to be social, it feels like we've gained a superpower.
I am God here.
And let's face it, introverts in our society are outnumbered at least by 2 to 1. Some estimates say extroverts outnumber us 3 to 1. So there's a lot of pressure on us to be extroverted even at a very young age.
Nathan, you need to go out and make some friends. What's wrong with you, Nathan? Why are you so shy?
Little do they know, there's nothing wrong with you. That's just the way your personality functions. Personality is a vehicle of impression and expression. There are pros and cons to being an introvert and an extrovert. So when we first start drinking alcohol, it's like turning a release valve to relieve all the pressure that we've been dealing with our entire lives to be more social. And that's what makes it addictive. I'm an INTJ, so taking an ESFP drug actually has a much stronger effect on me than just turning my introversion into extroversion.
It completely inverts my personality.
So I feel like I'm in a mind and a body that I've never had to control before. It's a problem. And let's face it, the government wants a society that's full of ESFs. That's why it's the only drug that's legal in all 50 states. ESFs are easy to lead. For one reason, due to their extroversion, they tend to be focused on the collective. And because of their sensing, they rely on their senses to process information instead of critical thinking. And they're guided by emotion instead of logic. But today I want to focus on the introversion and extroversion aspect of the drug in an effort to keep things simple. So now that we know what the problem is, let's talk about some of the solutions. How can we recreate the feeling of acceptance and sociability without resorting to drugs? Number 1, learn about the switch. What is the switch? It's something I learned about from Jordan Peterson. The trick is to flick your attention like a light switch, away from yourself and onto the person that you're socializing with. Project your focus outward instead of inward. There's also a switch for sensing and intuitiveness, but we'll talk about that in another video. Number 2, create a small circle of other introverts. Who understands you better than other introverts? I'm not saying you should abandon all the extroverts in your life. But not having the day-to-day pressure of extroverts trying to pressure you into social situations really helps. Everyone in my family is an introvert, and it really helps fill the void of not having a very active social life. Number 3. Get a dog. Yes, a dog. And get a dog that matches up well with your personality type. I'm an INTJ, and I love my rat terrier. Say hi to the audience. The next dog I get will be a border collie because they match up well with my personality type. Number 4. Find hobbies that can keep your attention. If you're too busy focusing on creating and learning, you'll have no energy left to think about how pathetically alone you are. And number 4. Join an MMA gym. MMA is great because it builds confidence and self-esteem all while simultaneously destroying the ego. Sure, there's a lot of people in MMA gyms, but the majority of communication in an MMA gym is done with the body, not the mouth. Mostly you just have to show up, shut up, and listen up. And you gain a lot of valuable skills and character traits in the process. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope it helps and I hope you learned something new. If anyone is having problems overcoming extreme introversion, feel free to message me on Gab. But before you go away entirely, check out the merch store.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
See you later, bad conversators.